Hey there, welcome back to Reddit XO, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. The impossible has been done in a nutshell. This is my life for the last 6 weeks. Hello, and welcome to everyone. 6 weeks ago, I realized that my wife was having an extramarital relationship. We have 2 children, who are 4 and 10 years old, respectively. For the last 8 years, we have been married. In terms of emotions, the preceding 2 weeks have been a roller coaster ride for me. I begged, pleaded, attempted to impress her, and generally seemed like a fool because I was certain that I could make things right between her and myself. As a result, I've been exploring the internet for solutions ever since. I've spent the last few weeks working out, caring for my children, and putting my priorities first in order to better myself and my family. The affair fog hasn't lifted yet, as far as I can tell. I stopped phoning her, bringing her coffee, and doing the basic things for her that I used to do before everything went wrong. I stopped caring about her. I'm not being rude to her. I've just given up on attempting to work with her. She wanted to talk when she got home from work last evening. She engaged in a 30-minute conversation with me last night, in which she talked more than she had said in the preceding 6 weeks combined, sharing information about her activities, including her employment and the themes we used to discuss. I wasn't sure what to say in response. I'd recognize her and pay attention to what she had to say. What the hell is she doing? My head was wondering. What is the point of her addressing me? So I just sat there and listened to what she had to say. Throughout the presentation, I talked only when it was absolutely necessary. When I believed she was done, I went outside to have a cigarette. She accompanied me out to the car and continued to converse with me. I just sat there and listened to what she had to say. Then I went up to my room and pushed myself to sleep till the next morning. That is the question I have. What is it that she is aiming to achieve? What should my course of action be? What should I do in this situation? I have emotions for her that haven't faded. I'm just not sure I'm ready to feel anything with her at this point in our relationship. The second story is as follows. He, the BF, a 26-year-old man, claims that I'm upset because he bought cake instead of me for his sister, 20-year-old woman, 26F. I've been in quarantine for 3 weeks, and I'm still not sure whether the problem is mine or not. Overall, I've been incredibly busy with my job from home, and things have been stressful and urgent at the office as well. I've also been performing the majority of the household chores, such as trash collection, dishwashing, meal preparation, and so on. I'm also a member of the military. I'd really go from the kitchen to the computer to make sure that my absence from the office was not interfering with my team's work. To be quite honest, my heavy job and overall sense of productivity helped me cope better with the quarantine situation than other people. In fact, I have a strong sense of achievement. Meanwhile, my partner spends the whole day gaming, which is okay with me as long as it is how he copes with his depression. When I kissed him goodbye the other night, it caused him to lose his life in the game he was playing. He becomes enraged and believes that I merely went there to check on him on his screen. I wept myself to sleep, but he later apologized, and everything is back to normal again. My morning started with getting reprimanded at work. I neglected to update something that I should have, and as a consequence, I've been feeling apprehensive, which I expressed with my partner. I also informed him that his sister's birthday was approaching. He offers to go grocery shopping, and I inquire if he might also pick up a piece of cake or something sweet, such as a pastry, for me. Upon his return, he tells me that he did not get a birthday cake for me because it would be unusual to offer both his sister and me cake because it is not my birthday. It was disappointing, but tolerable. The next thing he says is, "Are you really angry that I bought my sister cake instead of you?" I guess my expression betrayed discontent or tension because the next thing he says is, "Are you really unhappy that I bought my sister cake instead of you?" I assure him that's not the case. "You're upset because I purchased cake for my sister instead of you," he alleges. Historically, he's had a propensity of insisting on his own interpretation of how the other person feels, and my patience is wearing thin with him right now. I tell him that I'm sorry I'm not bothered by the fact that you bought your sister a cake. Unfortunately, you did not get me a cake for my birthday. He continues to claim that my dissatisfaction is due to his purchasing a cake for his sister is too much for me to stomach, and I leave. I want to be clear that I am not dissatisfied with the fact that he purchased a cake for his sister. I'd even brought up the subject of her birthday with him. However, it frustrates me that he would place so much emphasis on it, portraying me as some kind of monster who can't take it when someone else gets cake instead of me. I can't stand his insistence on knowing what I'm thinking, especially given that this isn't the first time or setting in which he's done this before. It's the equivalent of screaming into the void. So, did I overreact, Reddit, or was it a fluke? Is it just that I'm feeling tense? Update. As soon as I arrived home after spending time with my cousin, I went to our apartment to pack my possessions and grab the essentials that I couldn't possibly leave without, i.e. my laptop charger, eyeglasses, pills, etc. After attempting to dissuade me from leaving, he and I engaged in a long talk about the difficulties we had been facing. It was his admission that he had mistreated me and his assertion that I deserved far more than he had offered. That's accurate, I am aware of that. He vows to strive harder and to put up more effort in order to demonstrate his concern for me. Many of you pointed out that this isn't only about the cake, but also about my growing rage at his lack of effort and care for me. Thus, I couldn't forgive him as fast as I would have liked. Following that, he prepares me dinner and insists on buying something sweet for me to round off the evening. Without lying, it provided me with a glimmer of hope that maybe, just perhaps, he is now aware of what has happened. I told him that he may be in the midst of a honeymoon period. When he came over to kiss me this morning, while I was working on my laptop, I thought, woohoo, progress. I was in a good mood and was watching yoga videos on YouTube at the time, on incognito because I was using my non-work email as a login. He tells me that I have made changes to my computer screen. No, I answer emphatically. Yes, I did, he says, confirming his previous statement. And as I read over the comments on my previous essay, I realize that this isn't going to change anytime soon. As an explanation, I mentioned that going for a goodnight kiss was the same as looking at his screen. When he persisted on purchasing a cake for his sister, I became annoyed. When he insisted on forcing me to do or feel things I didn't want to. Everything is the same as before. Moreover, he is completely unaware of how exhausting, emotionally draining, and harmful it is. He has not only made me feel unimportant and alone, but he has also taken away my ability to speak my truth or express my feelings freely to others. I was reading Lundy Bancroft when I came across the phrase water torturer. After reading accounts of women who have been documenting their meetings and seeing how they coincided with my iPhone notes starting in August 2019, charting our interactions so that I wouldn't have to question myself, my Nate calmed down. As I walked away, I didn't even bother to say goodbye to our beloved cat, since I was worried that my feeble body wouldn't be able to move if I thought about never hearing her purr in my direction again. After blocking him from my phone and loading all of my belongings into my car, my quest for a more permanent place to live with my cousin continues. I left my keys in that apartment, as well as, hopefully, all of my pain behind. As a result, even though I'm feeling free and fearless as a mofo right now, I'm aware that there will be more nights when I weep into my pillow because of my feelings. But for the time being, I'll continue to enjoy my cheese bread and eat it.